Namaskar, Pranam, Vanakkam, and welcome to the PGurus show. So today there's a change, and the change is that Mr. Iyer is busy with some personal work, and he asked me, Sumitji, why don't you kind of be the host and host today? Why don't you have both the, why don't you do both the roles today? I said, well, it's a pleasure because I'm talking to my extended family, I'm talking to my brothers and sisters, should not be difficult at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, another pranam and vanakkam to you. So, what are we bringing today for you? That's something interesting. I want to talk on that. There has been a very, very intriguing video of Mr. Sam Pitroda, Satyan Pitroda to be precise. And as usual, he is again trying to mock Hinduism, Hindu gods, trying to mock the temples, trying to mock the temple economy, trying to mock the Sanatani beliefs which you and we have stood by, which our forefathers for generations have stood by and survived by. So why are these things coming under the question? What is the intention? What is the real game plan behind that? What does Congress want to convey again and again and again after the Chela, that is Rahul Gandhiji's Guruji, that is Sam Pitroda ji? Is he again hitting us? Is he again hitting below the belt? What is the real story? What is the canard about? We are going to understand this by the virtue of a video, then I'll talk about it. Then after that, we'll move to the phase 2. The phase 2 will talk about what is Indian temple economy about, what are the benefits of a temple economy, and the phase 3 will be, why are they trying to hit this temple economy? What is the real mantra? What is the real motive behind hitting this temple economy? That is what we are going to discuss during this. And then we'll move to the fourth and the last phase, ladies and gentlemen. That would be your Q&As, which will take in around 15 minutes. That is precisely how we are going to run through this. I'll sum it up again. The first part we start, which will I request Sachinji in a while to share that video with you, so that you know what is the thought process of Mr. Sam Pitroda. What does he mean by insulting Hindu gods, Bhagwan Shri Ram, Mahadev, Hanumanji Maharaj, and the Hinduism as such? What is Mr. Pitroda up to? Then we'll talk about part 2, what is the temple economy? Point number 3 will be, what is the real motive? What is the bigger game plan behind attacking Hindus in the temple economy? Fourth part will be Q&As. With that, I would request my friend Sachinji to do the Shri Ganesha. And Sachinji, can we have the
unemployment, inflation, education, health. No one talks about these things. But everyone talks about Ram, Hanuman, Mandir. And I have said that temples are not going to create jobs.
Well, here you have it. I mean, you hear it for yourself what Mr. Pitroda ke uch vichar kya. What is his thought process about? The first thing, if I go through the video, Sachinji, can you play it once again so that we all are in the sync? Can you play it once again?
Problem with unemployment, inflation, education, health. No one talks about these things. But everyone talks about Ram, Hanuman, Mandir. And I have said that temples are not going to create jobs.
Well, there are 7 elements in the whole topic. Inflation, health, Mandir, jobs, Ram, Hanuman, and unemployment. These are the things which have been broadly talked about. Now, if I look at the inflation for that matter, Mr. Pitroda, where the country which you live in is called United States of America, and to best of my knowledge, I think a few months back you were at 10.1% inflation, which is highest in the last 42 years. And we as a country are doing somewhere around 4.6% of retail inflation. That is what we have done. It is the 18 months lowest inflation what we have hit, right? If you talk about the unemployment, our numbers in last 2 years are all-time low. If you talk of the economical development or what is the economy, how the economy looks, we are going to grow from 6.5 to 7.2. I will take it at 6.5 as average. Your economic outlook is 1.7. Okay. Then you are talking about health. Well, what I last knew about your country, Mr. Pitroda, is that United States of America has 350 million as population, 35 crores, and my country is at 1.4 billion. If you look at the people who are inoculated here, well, we have done a fantastic job. 2 billion people, right? If you compare the cost of your vaccine and our vaccine, you have the answer. If you look at the number of people who die by cardiovascular diseases in your country and my country, there is no comparison. If you look at the cancer deaths in your country and my country, there's no comparison. And let me take you further, Mr. Pitroda. Then if you look at, for example, let's talk about the COVID. Now, look at your mortality rate. More than 1 million people in 35 crore ka population in 3.35 million. And we have around 700,000 deaths in 1.4 billion. Again, we are doing well. That I'm not trying to count that. I'm not trying to, anybody dying is a heartbroken. We lose a friend, a relative. I'm not trying to count that. But as you are running this vicious propaganda and trying to blame and pin things on the Indian infrastructure and the India's growth story, as an Indian, as a patriot, it is my job to logically counter you, and I'm very sure you will not have any answer. I'm very sure this video will reach you, but again, I will not get any answers because that is how you work. You shoot and scoot. Shoot and scoot. Do I remember something? Bofors gun. Yeah, it was known for shooting and scooting. Both rishtedari hai, purani rishtedari. There's a lot of purani rishtedari with Bofors gun. Let me not get into the Bofors gun today because that is not what we are going to talk today, right, Mr. Pitroda? So these are three things. You talked about health, you talked about infrastructure, you talked about employment. I gave you the economic outlook, I gave you our foreign exchange reserves, and to best of my knowledge, let me give you some more facts about your country and your health infrastructure, which was supposed to be the biggest and the best in the world, but it crumbled like a house of cards during COVID. Both of your vaccines, Moderna and this Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, have problems. Mr. Pitroda, why does Mr. Joe Biden tell us to make 5 billion vaccines, not Johnson & Johnson and Pfizer? Do you know how evasive the Pfizer CEO was at Davos? Do you know what is the problem with Johnson & Johnson vaccines? I think your FDA kind of had some serious issues with it, right? Now, not only that, I think you also already reached your debt ceiling. Your debt ceilings are kind of, you're hitting the debt ceiling. Look at your debt, look at our debt, look at your economic rate, look at our Satyanarayan Gangaram Pitroda. Yeah, thank you, Bennett Sanji. Thank you for giving the full name. So, look at the debt ceiling of America, look at the debt ceiling of ours. Recently, I tweeted about a video that is the flesh-eating drug, where people have the drug, they become zombies, and their flesh starts wearing out. Your country is in a drug emergency. Your education loans have crossed more than $1 trillion. Your prime president is talking of waiving out $400 billion of education loans so that the spending can hit the market. More money can come into the market because your economy is based on consumption, which is okay. Our economy is based on Arthashastra. We are not basing our economy on the Western model of economics where you borrow, print money, and that money is used to run the economy, and that is how you work. Now, I know that the illegal immigrants in your country are more than legal immigrants today. Well, and the people from Mexico are coming to your country like a sandstorm hits Dubai roads and buildings where there's sand everywhere. And your people your senators are asking about what is the US government doing, what is the US border patrol doing. That's your problem, not mine. Not only that, your cumulative debt has crossed the national savings, which is a big red line in economics. I think you understand economics better than me. That is at least what you presume and talk about. And that is at least the impression you are able to convey. But I've given you some hard-hitting facts. And if I look at the people who are graduating in America, and if I look at the percentage of people who are graduating in India, I am more. If I look at the cost of a graduation in America, and if I look at the cost of doing graduation in my country, we are doing much better. If I look at my economic dividend on my youth, my demographic dividend is going to last for 70 years. What is your average age? Right? What is your infant mortality rate? Right? You may have many number of air bases or the military bases in India. That's a point taken. But I can keep going on and on and on. So these are about so that I have given you some good points to talk and contemplate about economics and the logics about it. Now, Mr. Pitroda, you happen to be a patriot of Congress. And we know as a Congress, you always have an agenda. Whenever you want to go out of India, you somehow try to pin down India because your nishana or your object is to pin down Modi. By the virtue of Modi, you want to pin down India. So there's a saying in Hindi, Modi virod karte karte aap desh ka virod kab karte aapko pata hi nahi lagta. I'll translate it in English for you. Maybe you don't remember Hindi. Well, that's a tough language to remember. Anyway, that means by you cross the red line, you don't know where to stop in abusing Modi and where you have crossed the red line in abusing the Republic of India, the great Sanatani civilization, which is called India, Hindustan, Bharat. And Mr. Rahul Gandhi, whatever he has said in America, that is all our record. We all know about it. We have discussed on the PGurus and a few other platforms. You will know that, Mr. Pitroda. So that is the first three things you talked about. Now let me come to the second part. Bhagwan Shri Ram. Bhagwan Shri Ram, according to you, is a kalpanik patra, is an imaginary character. No, this is not what I am alleging. Now you have your party in a written affidavit to the Honorable Supreme Court of India has said Bhagwan Shri Ram is a kalpanik patra, is a imaginary character. That is what is your asta and vishwas about Bhagwan Shri Ram. Now, if Bhagwan Shri Ram is an imaginary character, then obviously the Param Bhakt of Bhagwan Shri Ram, that is Lord Hanuman, is a comical character to you, right? Because if this one is fiction, this one cannot be real. But when it came to Karnataka elections, your party was saying, oh, we are devout bhakts of Hanumanji, Jai Bajrangbali. Now, who is this Bajrangbali? Because if Bhagwan Shri Ram is a comical character or an imaginary character, then obviously, this. Just a second. Then obviously, this Bhagwan Shri Ram is then Hanumanji is also a imaginary character. What are we talking here about, right? So these are the things what you need to talk and contemplate about. Then you talked about the temples. You talked about the temple economy. You talked about a lot of things vis-a-vis temples. So, but when it comes to elections, I have seen Mr. Rahul Gandhi, your chela or your good, your good disciple whom you have taught politics, whom you have taught a lot of things. He becomes a devout Hindu. He is wearing turbunda on his forehead. He is wearing a kurta. He is wearing Rudrakshi mala. He is wearing a janu. And he has himself claimed that I am a Janyo Dari Brahman. I am a Shiv Bhakt. I am a Kashmiri Pandit. My Ghotra is Dattatreya Kol. This is what Sriman Rahul Gandhi ji, your chela, your disciple has claimed, right? So when India during a temple run, I call it a temple run, or sorry, temple hopping would be a better word. People have heard about pub hopping. I'm calling it temple hopping. Now in the Gujarat elections, we have seen Rahul Gandhi ji doing at least 12 temples in a day. I think he did all the temples of Gujarat. There was hardly any temple left, and he had a typical get-up. But incidentally, Mr. Pitroda, when the elections were over, this attire of Shri Rahul Gandhi ji could not be seen anywhere. Now, very recently, we have seen him. He is mocking and he was making fun of Ashtang Pranam. What is Ashtang Pranam? You want me to lie down? You want me to bow? You want me to do? You had made fun of Sengol. You have made fun of Mahadev. You have made fun of Tamil culture. That's okay, right? Because that is what you do when you go out of the India, and that you make fun of everything that is Indian. What people like me have in their heart, blood and vessels flowing. What a Jawan on the border is ready to take a bullet from, that is India. For you, it might be a flag, it might be a piece of cloth, but for us, it is what is our man, saman and passion. This is our dignity, our identity, and what we are all about. Because we, as Indians, rise from this soil. We as Indians go back into this soil. That is how we are. That is what we believe. For us, this country is not a piece of land. This is a mother to us. That is what we believe. So you are insulting everything that is Hindu, that is Indian, that is Sanatani. Well, okay. You may say, as an American, I have a right to freedom of expression. Well, if that is the case, we give it to you. You have the right to freedom of expression. But we also have a right to an equal freedom of expression. We also have a right to counter you. We also have a right to tell you where do you stand, Mr. Pitroda. We'll tell you that, right? This is about the Bhagwan Shri Ram, this is about the Hanumanji. Now, let's go to the second part. Why temples? Somewhere down the line, what I see, ladies and gentlemen, now I'm coming to the part 2. What is the temple and what is the temple economy? What we are going to talk about. Somewhere in my country, somewhere in my holy land, what is a temple? Temple is not a place of worship. It's not only a place of worship. If you have a small temple or a puja ghar in your home, that is a small temple. Then why do we need such a big temples? Why were these grand temples built? Why were we have these temples with huge power, huge land, huge treasures in them? Because temple is a place where you go and your heart and mind gets reignited, gets charged up. Temple is a place where Sanatana prevails, Sanatana Dharma prevails. Temple is a place which was the epicenter of a city or a town. Temple is a place which is epicenter of your culture. Temple is a place which represents Sanatan Dharma. Temple is a place which talks about your heritage, your culture, your architecture. Temple is a place where business was conducted. Temple is a place where Goshalas were there. Temple was a place where, what do you call them? Guru and Parapara or Gurukuls were running. Temple is a place where charities were done. Temple is a place where marriages were done. Temple is a place where the community will get together and celebrate all the auspicious occasions. Temple is a place where you will go and pray for an and temple is a place where you will go and pray if there's a natural calamity. So temple is not a simple thing. While in Abrahamic faiths, the temple or the place of worship might be only confined to having prayers. But here in Hindu culture, in Sanatan Dharma, the temple is ethos of being a Hindu. Temple is what Hindus are about. Let me take a few examples, which Mr. Pitroda and Mr. Gandhi will definitely know. Now, Padmanabha temple in Kerala, one of the richest temples in the world. It is estimated that the complete lands and all which belong to the temple are more than $30 billion. The wallets or the vaults which are holding the khazana or the treasure is believed to be in billions of dollars. I think some say 10 billion, 20 billion, 30 billion. I have no idea because one of the vaults is never opened. I have not, and this is the biggest which was never opened. Now, let me talk to you about Shri Tirupati Balaji. Again, one of the richest, the richest temple shrine in the whole world. There is where Mahalakshmi is there, right? Shri Tirupati Balaji is there, right? And what is unique about this temple? This temple has thousands of acres of land. The property runs into billions of dollars. This temple is the richest temple in the world. Estimates say $400 to $500 million of chadawa, or the people what they give to the temple as as money, or what the devotees give. That comes to the temple, which makes it the richest temple. And out of that, a few hundreds of crores go to the government of India. Number 2 temple, Mata Vaishno Devi in Jammu. Mata Vaishno Devi is the second visited temple in India and gets second. And if you look at the money collected, it's $200 to $300 million, which come there as a chadawa. And let me share something which will astonish you all. All these years before the abrogation of 370 and 35A, Mata Vaishno Devi temple was controlled by J&K government. And we all know who was controlling J&K government all these long years. For some time, Mr. Farooq Abdullah has been also the trustee of the temple. Imagine. Farooq Abdullah is a Muslim and he is trustee of the second most visited Hindu temple in the world and in India. Well, and one thing, hundreds of crores of money was taken from Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Trust and given to the government of J&K. Do you know to do what? To pay salaries, to run their cars. And all of you would be surprised to know the revelation I'm going to make. Mata Vaishno Devi Trust was the biggest revenue earner for the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. Biggest revenue earner for erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir was Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Trust. And people like you and me who gave an offering, they say it's going to the Mata and it's going to the development of Mata. No. A lot of money will go to run cars, to pay bills, to pay telephones, and to pay salaries of government employees. Yeah, this happened in India. And after Manoj Sinha has come to the power, a lot of money has been returned to the Mata. Still, there's a lot of money which has not been done. If I talk of Siddhivinayak temple, now Siddhivinayak temple doing Ganesh Chaturthi, I think they get around 70 crores or more at chadawa as the money which people give as a part of their devotion. 70 crores during the small period of Ganesh Chaturthi is third or fourth, richest temple in India. And that there are many temples. If you look at the marvels, if you look at the things what they have. Now you will tell me, Sumit, you're talking about heritage, culture, money, but what does a temple do? I mean, it's good they have money, it's good they're rich, and it is very bad. A lot of money goes to the government. And to some estimates, what I have done a research on, in some cases on average, around 65% of the money is taken by the government in the name of running these trusts, administration from trusts, which I believe should not happen. Hindu temples should be run by Hindus. This law of 1925, which the Britishers made, does not apply on Muslim mosques, does not apply on churches, does not apply on Gurdwaras. It's only applicable on Hindu temples and shrines. And let me share another interesting fact with you, ladies and gentlemen. You will be astonished to know the biggest number of temples, or the maximum temples in India are for which deity? Well, a guess. Anybody a guess? And can you please type in which deity or which Bhagwan or which Devi has the maximum number of temples in India? Your answers. I'll look forward to getting some of the answers. Take a guess. Please feel free to type. I'm sure you can get it. Sachinji, do we have some comments coming in? Anybody answering? All of our guys are smart. I mean, let's take a guess. We might be right, we might be wrong. Oh, I get first thing, Durga Mata. Well, second, Kali. Good, Mr. Shah. Keep on trying. Shivaji, I know it will happen. You will live there. Then Mr. Karthik, Shivaji and Hanuman. Well, we are almost there. NRB, Shiva. Yes. Lord Shiva. Yes. Ganeshji. And Krishna. Mr. Ashok says Krishna. Mr. Rao says Hanumanji. Mr. Rao, can you go back? Okay. Jai Ritha Rao. Okay, Mr. Rao, you got it correct. And next one, Sachiti, next Bitha. There was the next answer also. Okay, Mr. Talati also got it right. Now, this I wanted to share because even one day it was a revelation to me. The maximum temples in India are of Lord Hanumanji. Now, do you understand why Hanumanji is picked out of all the 33 crore Devi Devta we have? Why Hanumanji is called Shri Balaji is same magnet Ranga sir, is same thing, absolutely right, you're bang on, kudos. Now, do you know why Mahavir, Bajrang Hanumanji is targeted? Because the maximum temples in India belong to Bajrang Sankat Mochak. What is Hindu mythology about Hanumanji? Sankat Mochak, who relieves you from all the troubles. There's a saying in Hindi, as I just said to you, Sankat se Hanuman bachaye, mankaram vachan naam jo lave. Just by remembering these two lines, Lord Mahavir or Lord Bajrangbali or Mahavir Hanuman can relieve you from any sankat or any trouble in your life. He cuts all your bandhans, he cuts all your shackles. So here, again, you understand Bajrangbali is under target. So coming back to the discussion, so these temples in 1925, British enacted this act, and after independence, this act was only confined to Hindus. After independence, Sardar Patel told Nehruji, we want to restore Somnath, we want to restore Mathura and Kashi because they are epitome of Indian faith. Well, you know, Nehruji did not agree. Somehow Sardar Vallabhbhai Patelji managed to do Somnath. Otherwise, you know what was the plight of Somnath. So this is what has been done. This discriminatory law is against the Hindu faith. Why? What has happened? Why is this law against the Hindu faith? That is what we are going to discuss and understand here. Now, what do these temples do besides all this? I missed a point. Around 2,000 to 2,500 hospitals in India, 80% subsidy, 90% of our poor, 100% subsidy is run by temples of India, sir. Temples of India, 2,500 across the length and breadth of India. And southern temples are very rich, prosperous, because in north, these invaders from everywhere came and looted everything, plundered everything, they burned everything, destroyed everything. I'm also going to share you one interesting fact. Why did Bakhtiyar Khilji destroy Nalanda? I'm coming to that. It's just the thing just came to my mind. I thought it's worth sharing. Now, somehow you have to thank Maharana Pratap, you have to thank Shivaji Maharaj, you have to thank Maharana Sangha, you have to thank Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. These are the 3-4 heroes, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, sorry. Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, you have to talk about Maharana Sangha, Maharana Pratap Ji. Because of them, they could contain. Akbar could never cross Deccan, otherwise the South would be a different story. So that's how they were contained. And Guru Nanak Ji is the one, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj is the one who dismantled Aurangzeb completely, who dismantled his empire. A lot of history is not written about that, but this is wrong. These are the 4 heroes whom I salute, and they are the people who have saved the Hindu faith. And let me bring in here, why is Guru Nanak, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji called Chadre Hind? Because, it was a time when Aurangzeb was kind of hampering a lot of Hindus, he was hampering a lot of people. And at that point of time, some Kashmiri Pandits went to Guruji. Because, Sikh Gurus were essentially Hindus. It's only after the last Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, they had this Kripan and Pradban and all. So they went to me, say, sir, this Aurangzeb is after our life and he wants to convert us. He has done all kind of atrocities against us. Kindly save us. And you'll be surprised to know that last Guru Gobind Singh Ji, was the son of the second last Guru 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙀𝘀 Maharaj. Now the son says to father, you have to do something. You can only stop him, nobody else. What does stopping Aurangzeb mean? You will be killed. So this message reaches Aurangzeb, look, this is what is happening here. And Guru Gobind Singh Ji has said, Guru 𝙒𝙧𝙤𝙀 Ji has said, you convert me, I am their Guru. If you convert me, whole of India will convert. So he called him to Delhi. He tried to give him, I'll give you this, I'll give you this. No. He had 3 of his guys with him, Satidas, Matidas, and one more guy. When Guruji could not be managed, he could not be, he stood iron ground. So one of his guys was cut into pieces. Another was burned alive. Another was put in the boiling oil, killed in front of his eyes. Guruji did not change. In the end, when Aurangzeb lost everything, he could not do anything. He asked the Jalad, or the man, the guy who was responsible for slaughtering, chop his head. And where the head fell down, it is what is called, in Chandni Chowk, when you come next time, see Gurdwara 𝙒𝙗𝙦, is where the head of Guruji fell. That is why he is called 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙦. 𝙤𝙧𝙤𝙦 means the cloth of Hind. If Guruji would have not given the supreme sacrifice, the demography of India would have been something different. He sacrificed his own life to protect Sanatan Dharma, to protect Hindus, to protect Hindu faith. It is not written in our history books, but I wanted to make a mention to. And his son, the last Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji Maharaj, he dismantled the Mughal Empire. He dismantled the Mughals. He was the greatest, one of the greatest heroes of India. So it's a small mention. I wanted to mention that. Now let me go back to schools. There are around more than 2,000 to 2,500 schools which are run by temples. There are cancer institutes, there are hospitals, super specialty hospitals. One is coming in Faridabad, that is by this 𝐻𝑎mrita. 𝐻𝑎mrita, it has 65 operation theatres. It is the biggest specialty hospital in Asia, biggest private specialty operation in hospital in India, and that is run by Mataji. Not only that, temples feed more than 2 crore people every day, sir. More than 2 crore people, 20 million people are fed. How many orphanages, how many vidva ashrams, how many things there are. Now, when you go and attack this temple, you dismantle a lot of things along with the temple. When you go and attack the faith, you dismantle a lot of things along the faith. When you go and question Bajrang Baliji and you question Bhagwan Shri Ram, you are dismantling the deity who is present in maximum temples of India. So don't think that anything is here happening by, anything is here happening by, by fluke. And these employees, and Sri Tirupati Balaji and all, they give employment, what somebody has just written. Thank you, sir. Lakhs of people. And I'll come on to the more of the temple. So temple is the heart of Sanatana. Temple is the heart. You see, if some part does not work, you can live. But if the heart doesn't work for a minute, it's short death, right? Dharmashala temple in Karnataka has maximum number of schools, education. Yes, I mean, you are right, sir. And there are numerous. I could just, because I have the limitation of time, I could just take a few names. That's why I've said more than 2,500. I've talked of Sri Tirupati Balaji, Mata Vaishno Devi, Siddhi Vinayak, and Padmanabhaya temple and all. So there are these temples are recognized length and breadth of India. And let me share one more interesting fact as we are talking. Let me ask you a question. You know who runs the biggest school chain of school networks in the world? Quiz. Some quick answers. Then we move to the second part. We still have 15 minutes. I'm looking at the watch, and Shri Sir is not there to regulate me today. So, friends, ladies, gentlemen, brothers and sisters, which organization runs maximum number of schools in India? Any guess? Well, you all know about it. You all must have heard about it. ISKCON, okay. Kartik ji writes ISKCON. What else? ISKCON. Mr. Dinesh talks about ISKCON. More guesses. Come on. RSS, yes, Mr. Mehta. You got it right. You nailed it, sir. Sir, Saraswati Shishu Mandir has 24,000 some say up to 30. I will take the pessimistic number of 24,000 schools are run by them. So when they attack RSS, you're also attacking 25,000 schools in which, and the temples, hospitals, the schools, the temples run, RSS schools, and the charitable trusts they run. We don't differentiate between the Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, 𝙭. People of any faith and every faith are treated there. This is also, I want to make clear, we do not differentiate between them. Now, that is why you see Mr. Rahul Gandhi always attacks RSS. That is the reason why you attack RSS. 24,000 schools is the biggest school chain. Saraswati Shishu Mandir, Deepak ji, bang on. So that is what is RSS. Why is RSS? Again, RSS doesn't take money from anybody. The people who have faith in RSS, they give a Guru Dakshina. So RSS doesn't take grants, money from government, from NGOs, or corporates. It's also worth to mention. Now, again, the ethos is Hindu. The ethos is Sanatan. What is Saraswati Shishu Mandir? You will have seen a Ma Saraswati with a veena there. And when I talk of Ma Saraswati with a veena there, I remember one of the persons whom I respect most in my life, Dr. 𝗣𝙧𝙤𝙀𝘀. I have seen his veena recital and Ganesh, Ganesh bhajans and Ma Saraswati bhajans he used to say. God grant peace to him. Now, coming back to the discussion. So this is what Hindu ethos is all about, right? And Rangaji, you're right. RSS does not discriminate. Any faith can go. Our temple trust, if you're a Muslim, you can go there, you will be treated. In the Hindu-run school, if you're a Muslim or a Christian, you will be not treated. While as Christian schools and some other schools, they have discrimination. And I need not less to say, in a madrasa, you would not like to send your child and do what will he learn in a madrasa or what will she learn in a madrasa. So madrasa is not the option. And Hindus are the only people who cannot run their own institutions in this country. But as per some sources, some grapevine talk, this might go soon. This is a great injustice that temples should be freed from the government control, and Hindus like Muslims, like Christians and all should be given liberty to run their institutions, education institutions in India. Either ban it for all or give it to all. I'm talking of a so-called secularism, right? We are a secular country. That is what I heard last time. Okay, yeah. Somebody told me we are a secular country, right? And yeah, Vanvasi Kalyan asked, I'm working for the tribals. RSS, we'll talk someday about detail of RSS, what RSS does. It's a different subject, but again, the ethos of a temple, a school, a Saraswati Shishu Mandir, a free langar, a leper ashram, ashram for vidwas, ashram for kids, orphanage is Hindu, because that is what Sanatana Dharma teaches you. And the epicenter somewhere down the line is the temple. Now let's talk of some numbers, because I like to add numbers to it, because my friends somewhere who don't agree with me, not in this channel, but people who will look at this video and will curse me after that, but that's okay. They say, okay, this is all good, this is all culture, this is all heritage. You gave 2,500 schools, 2,000 Saraswati Shishu Mandir, 2 crore people a day. So what is the big deal? Yeah, there are a lot of people who do this. Why should we have this? Why should government put money? What is this? I will bring 3 things to you on this. Last year in J&K, we had a bumper tourism year. 1.65 lakh tourists visited. 1.65 crore tourists visited Srinagar, J&K. And Goa used to be the #1 tourist destination in India, 3.5 crore tourists. And there's another notion I want to clear here. People usually think that India runs on foreign tourism. The foreign tourists last year was 6.9 million, 70 lakhs. So India does not run on foreign tourism. We are not Thailand or we are not Sri Lanka. While in Sri Lanka, the revenue from tourism is $4 billion. Thailand is #1 in the world, $65 billion. And you know what? Which is the #1? Which is the #1 tourist destination of India? It's not Goa, it's not J&K. Any guesses? Sachinji will run a small quiz. I want to get all my friends, all my brothers, sisters today involved. I know some of you like to have popcorn and coffee, but today let's also get a bit of typing on the keyboard. #1 tourist destination in whole of India. Any guesses? Which is it? Sharda Peeth Corridor, Dixit ji, good try. Let's try more. Anybody? #1 tourist, Ayodhya. Work in progress. Not yet, sir. Kashi. Nagaji. Nagamani ji got it. Varanasi. RD ji also got it right. Deepak ji also got it right. Let me share some numbers with you. Devendra ji got it right. Karthik ji got it right. Devendra ji got it right. Okay, sir, let me share some numbers. The number one tourist destination in India is Shri Kashi Vishwanath ji. Yes, Shri Kashi Vishwanath ji. I'll tell you an instance. When this Kashi Vishwanath corridor was built, nahi sir, it is not Taj Mahal for any chance. It's not Agra. It used to be once upon a time, but it was projected like that. There was some 900 crores put in that project, and I was in a lot of TV debates. Why are you putting the Akshakas money in the temple? Why about Hindu? Why about Mahadev? Why about Bhagwan Shiva? Because anyway, a lot of people are allergic to Bhagwan Mahadev, Mahakal. A lot of people are allergic. Now they say, why are you doing this? Where will this money come from? This is a loss to Akshaka. Sir, ladies and gentlemen, hold your hearts together. Last year, the number of tourists, the number of pilgrims, the number of devotees which visited Kashi Vishwanath ji is 10 crore, 100 million, 10 crore, 100 million. Imagine one person just spending 1,000 rupees. 1,000 rupees. Do the multiplication. 1,000 rupees into 10 crore. How many thousands of crores it is? How many thousands of in the money we put on the Kashi Vishwanath corridors was recovered in 15 days to 1 month. I had betted my dignity on our TV. I said it will be recovered in 3 months. I'm wrong. They recovered it in 1 month to 15 days. I'm just imagining 1,000, sir. 1,010 crore. If it's 2,000, if it's 3,000, logically speaking, it will be around 2,000. 2,000 into 10 crore. Do the numbers. Same will be for Mahakal corridor. Same will be for the temples of South India. Same will be for why is this? What's the cost of Sanatani economy? You are happy, you still want to go to a temple. You are sad, you still want to go to a temple. You have a parv, you still want to go to a temple. You are going to very tough time, you still want to go to a temple. So economy good, economy bad, your things good, your things bad, you're in a good mood, you're in a jovial mood, or you're wherever. Temple tourism goes irrespective of vocational tourism. Vacations you may or may not go. When it's temple tourism, winds blow hot, winds blow cold, it is rain, it is sun, it is shower, it is high tide, it is low tide, it does not matter, you will go. And our temples are across the length and breadth of India. This is how we keep the India's economy moving. This is the concept of temple economics and temple economy. That is where the Aghat is going to be. That is where the attack is going to be. Why is temple economy and Bhagwan Ram and Bhagwan Bajrang Bali, why are they on the target? Why is temple on the target? Who told Sam Pitroda temples do not create jobs? Do I have to explain you more? Let me explain you more, Mr. Pitroda. Today I'm in a good mood and I'm giving tuitions for free. I love to educate some people. Now, what is happening here? Now let me bring you to another aspect. You know Kashi Vishwanath ji. You know Shri Tirupati Balaji. How many thousands of acres of Tirupati Balaji land is sold by the government? Where did the money go? What about the temples of Tamil Nadu? How many thousands of acres of land is sold? Why are temples of Tamil Nadu in such a bad state? Why they are not being restored? You understand the logic? So somewhere down the line, I also see in this country, there's a very concerted effort going on to break the heart or to puncture the heart of Sanatana Dharma, that is the temple. Anyway, we don't have any great temples left in North because invaders came and plundered and burned most of the things. I forgot to tell you about Bakhtiyar Khilji. I'll come to that. Sachin ji, if I forget, remind me. So this is about this. Now, this is the magic of temple economics. And let me take you to one more part. You must have heard about Ayodhya. Bhagwan Shri Ram, Ayodhya, we all know Ram temple. We are all happy about. And, when Babri Masjid was brought down that day, I was a kid and I knew Bhagwan Shri Ram temple will come. I may or might not see it, but it will come. I was very sure on that day and it has come in my lifetime. And, I'll share something personal with you. When Bhagwan Shri Ram temple, when Modi ji was laying the foundation stone, was raiding to the, and by the way, we have 5G connectivity in all the Chardham. We are building corridors to all the major tirth of Hindus across the country, and all of them have 5G connectivity. We're building hospitals, we're building helipads, we're building a lot of things, but it's a different topic, so that is where it is on attack. Anyway, Incidentally, Shri, Kedarnath temple was 400 years under the snow. There is no cement used. It is just interlocking of rocks. And when we had the cloud rust, how did the beam Shila that came on the back of the temple and that could break the water flow into this? That is the chamatkar. That is the prakop. That is the chamatkar of Deva Didya Mahadev. I can keep on going for hours, but I have to also look at the clock. I will take questions. Now, we were talking about this is how this was done. Now, when Ayodhya was built, what do you think about Ayodhya? Ayodhya, you think, oh, it's just a temple. No. Ayodhya, and on that day, when Modi ji did the Shilanyas, it was 6 a.m. in the morning, and up to 4 in the afternoon, I was on NewsX along with Rishabh Gulati, the managing editor. I suppose only Rishabh and me. And I told Rishabh, it's history in making. He said, Sumit, today aaj kuch khana pina nahi. I said, today I'm on fast. I don't even have water. Don't worry, sir. I won't even have water. Because it was history in making. I said, Modi ji is the lucky one who's doing it. And you and me are also part of history, because this broadcast will never ever happen in our lives again. Might not happen in my 10 generations again. Because today no Babar or Aurangzeb is going to come and destroy it. Those days are gone. Right? So this broadcast is never. We are lucky that Lord Bhavan Mahadev and Bhagwan Shri Ram has chosen me and you to be a part of this history in making. And this broadcast, I will never ever forget in my life. That is what I want to bring to you on this. Now, anyway, what is Shri Ayodhya Shri? Shri Ayodhya Shri is it's not about Ram Temple. No, it's not about Ram Temple. Then what is Shri Ayodhya Shri? Sir, ladies and gentlemen, hold your hearts again. Shri Ayodhya Shri is the third pole of geopolitics. Third pole of geopolitics. It's the answer of Sanatan Dharma to Makkah and to Vatican. Christians have Vatican. Well, all good. I have visited Vatican. It's a fantastic place. All the good thing you must have. Muslims have Makkah. I have not visited Makkah because non-Muslims cannot go there. But our answer as Sanatanis to Christianity and Islam is Shri Ayodhya Shri, the third pole of geopolitics. This will cement India into will give India the place which it deserves in the brotherhood of nations. Why? More than 9,000 crores of people. I will briefly touch upon that because of 3 minutes left. 108 lakes. We are giving space to embassies there. There will be 3 rings of ring roads. It will have an international airport, full-size international airport, state-of-the-art railway terminal, free service. 108 lakes. We have live Mahabharata going, Ramayana going on all. Music theaters, cultural heritage museums, 3 dharamshalas to accommodate thousands of people. Then you will have places of attraction, embassies, cultural centers. 1 more ring road, then you will have 3-star hotels, and the outer ring road will have 5-star hotels. And not only that, there will be a lot of recreation, a lot of culture, a lot of heritage which will be brought in. It will be much bigger, much grander than Makkah and Vatican. I have all the respect for Makkah and Vatican. It will be much bigger and much grander. It is a full steam. Makkah and Vatican are, I think 60 kilometers, 60 square kilometers, I think 60 miles or 60 kilometers. I think what you call it, 65 acres and 90 acres, something like that. It is thousands of acres. It is the epitome of Sanatan Sanskriti, Sanatan Dharma that will be showcased. If somebody will enter Shri Ayodhya Shri, he will know what is Sanatan Dharma about. He will know or she will know why they have survived more than 1 lakh years. Why this is the oldest religion. Sanatan Dharma is the only religion in the world, right? Right, is the only religion in the world. The rest are all panths, not religions. It's the only Dharma where when Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji said, Sanatan Dharma, he said, Sarva Panth Prathana. Panth means is different from Dharma. Dharma is only one, that is Sanatan Dharma. The rest are all panths. So this Dharma, the greatness of this Dharma, and Shri Ayodhya Shri will be the biggest tourist attraction in the whole world. Wait for January 2024, only matter of few days. Then the biggest tourist attraction in the world is not going to be Swiss Alps. It's not going to be Champs-Élysées. It's not going to be a Leaning Tower of Pisa. It's not going to be the Black Forest in Germany. It's not going to be the Niagara Falls or the Golden Gate. It is going to be Shri Ayodhya Shri. And we don't need anybody to break the records. If we Sanatanis, we just start visiting Ayodhya once in our lifetime. That's it. Visit Ayodhya Shri once in lifetime. Take your kids, take your mother, take your father, take your wife, take your brother, take your sister. Walk them through the Sanatan. It will be a walking, talking library of Sanatan Dharma. Imagine if one corridor of 900 crores of investment can get 100 million Sanatanis. What is the power of a city of thousands of hundreds of kilometers circumference? What is the power of Shri Ayodhya Shri? What is the economics I'm talking? What is the money I'm talking? And what is the pride I'm talking? That is why I said it will be the third pole of geopolitics. And a lot of people are trying to deprive Hindus of having a third pole in geopolitics. So there are a lot of efforts being done to, move the bricks. Because if you have to break a structure, try to move the bricks. If they are not tightly held, they'll fall down. That is what the structure is of. That is why today's hangout was important. To join the dots between Sanatani economy, what can it bring, what is the importance. I think we are at 45, 47. I think I have covered all the parts. I'll take 1 minute to cover why did Bakhtiyar Khilji bring down Nalanda, because you will be wondering. Well, I think 20,000 monks, 10,000 teachers were slaughtered, right? Yes, Ayodhya will bring millions of Hindus back home. I have full faith on it. And whoever my NRI brothers and sisters are watching it, you will also come, you will come full family. Go wherever you want to go in India, go to Switzerland, go to Golden Gate. I've also seen it. You also go and see it. But you must go to Shri Ayodhya Shri. It will be a $1 trillion. Sir, I take your point. Sir, $1 trillion. Sir, I give it to you, sir. This will take Uttar Pradesh to a new lights. And under the leadership of Modi ji and Yogi Adityanath, nothing is holding back. We are running out of time. I'll talk about Bakhtiyar Khilji. This Bakhtiyar Khilji, he fell sick. And all his Farsi Hakims were trying to, or Muslim Hakims were trying to get him fine. He could not. Then somebody told him there's a Hindu university nearby and there are people who know the medicine very well. He said, why? I will not get myself treated by a Hindu. Why should I get? I prefer to die than kafir treating me. Then these people went and they called a doctor. A doctor said, I'll not give you any medicine. This is Quran. Just turn the pages of Quran and you will get fine. Bakhtiyar Khilji turned the pages of Quran and ultimately he got fine. When he got fine, he called the minister. He said, what the hell happened? I was just turning the pages of Quran. How did I get fine? How did I get fine? How did my disease disappear? What is this magic about? He said the principal of the college, that's Nalanda University, he had put some medicine on every page. So whenever you were doing like this, like this, like this, like this, so you were getting that medicine into your tongue, and that is how you could. When Bakhtiyar Khilji said, oh my God, they are so powerful. That is the level of medicine and knowledge they have. Where do they get it from? This is Nalanda University. He ordered his people, kill all the 10,000 teachers, 20,000 monks, and burn it. Nalanda was 7 stories, tall. Modi ji is trying to restore Nalanda. By the way, there's a good news. And it burned. They were all manuscripts, all timeless knowledge, all priceless knowledge, all impeccable knowledge that was burned. And it was burning for months. That was a quantum of knowledge. So all the teachers were killed, all the monks were slaughtered, and the university was burned. So when somebody asks you, why did Bakhtiyar Khilji burn Nalanda? It was the power of Sanatan Dharma. It was the power of Sanatani teachings, the medicine. We invented the medicine. Who was Charak? Who was Shrishta? Who invented the medicine? Who invented the plastic surgery? Who invented the sign tables? Who invented everything? It was us. So on that note, I can talk more and more, but Sachinji will be very unhappy with me and he's going to shout out after me after the show. Sachinji, let's go to Q&A. Oh, namaskaram. Thank you. Now I have a question here. Thank you for this. No name after Shivaji Maharaj. We need to go through those soft measures for our provocation because taking the course of protect of hero of the nations. Unfortunately, sir, all the names have been after Nehru's and Gandhi. So it's only after last 9 years we could think of somebody else. Let me tell you, if you've seen the new Navy SEAL, the new Navy SEAL, it has because the architect of modern day Navy, the person who got the modern day Navy up and running, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, he gave the concept of Navy and his seal is part of the Indian Navy flag now. That Farang, I think Gregorian cross or something, That is taken out. That was a part of the British legacy. Now it is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj seal, which is the part of the Indian Navy flag and the flag now. And that is how we pay tribute to the person who got the first naval armada up in India. That was Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Ji. Next question, Sachin ji. Sumit ji, if I was to call Minister or MLA for legit, probably get a case slapped on me, but Pappu going and welling for 4 million, nothing really democratic. Well, Stone, sir, the problem here is, I don't know your sir or madam, I'm just assuming your sir. Well, sir, the problem here is that, in politics, politicians have a leeway. It is how you want to use it, right? It is how you want to use it. Unfortunately, Mr. Rahul Gandhi is trying to do this because his jealousy against Hindus, his jealousy with Prime Minister Modi, who comes from a very normal family, and according to him, he was a chai wala, he could make it up to the Prime Minister of India, they cannot fathom that thought. Now, when they start kind of talking about it, they forget all the Lakshman Rekhas, they forget all the boundaries, and by doing this, they are only hurting themselves in the foot. Let me tell you, 2024 elections, it's going to be Mr. Modi all the way. And if Mr. Rahul Gandhi thinks by doing these acts and gimmicks, it is going to win him the election, I don't know. And Mr. Sam Pitroda costed him the last time election when he said, Hota hai to, something he said. I think something he said was a famous thing in 2019. He said, Hua to hua. Hua to hua. That one thing costed Congress so many seats. And if Congress wants to again go with Mr. Satyan Pitroda or Mr. Sam Pitroda, and again they want to insult the Hindu gods, they want to question Hinduism, they want to question deities, they want to make fun of Singol, Mahadev, Bhagwan Shri Ram, Bhagwan Mahavir, Bajrangbali, Hanuman, Hindu temples and all, well, let them do it. Because when you are in public life, your life is not yours. If you're a private person, you can do whatever you are. But if you're a public person, you have to be very, very careful and watch every move. And today is the age of internet, sir. Or whatever you say and do, you cannot hide it. It will reach the people who want to know about it. And that is what is happening. That's why we are having this discussion. If they would have not spoken this discussion, this telecast, this hangout won't be on this. Yeah. Badri Chandran ji, namaskar. What happened to the second Russell protest? Is BJP playing the right? Are they spending Trump implementing beer? Can they handle what is the impact of 202 for election? Well, Badriji, the issue here is that wrestler protest was always around Haryana politics. The most of the FIRs which they have gave when the investigation happened, those dates were not matching. On those days, Brij Bhushan Singh was not there. And one girl who was claimed, Bacha, who was claimed to be a minor, and again some fudged documents and all were created when the police went and probed into it. Then she was not a minor. They were even trying to get a POSCO act. So all the political netas and leaders were meeting them. Suddenly, when the Karnataka elections results were out, they went again. When the parliament was to be inaugurated, they wanted to come again and do a Maha Panchayat in front of the parliament. So there's a lot of political turmoil. There's a lot of things that happen. People can have political ambitions, but I would not suggest to use your stature and aura as a national player to do it. You can do it at the right point of time, but you don't have to create controversies around it to do it. So today, nothing which wrestlers have said could be substantiated by the virtue of proof. It's not a question of Mr. Brij Bhushan Singh. If, let's say, you unilaterally take action against Mr. Brij Bhushan Singh, then you are acknowledging and admitting something went wrong. And if something went wrong, if this could be done to the players, our daughters, our sisters who are wrestlers, then what will happen to the common man? So when you talk of politics and the political opportunism, it's a multi-faced sword. It's not a two-faced sword. It's a multi-faced sword, and you have to handle it carefully. It's not a single-faced sword. There's a one-faced sword that has 5, 6, 8, 10 dimensions, maybe more. So you have to be very, very careful in handling these. So always when it's like walking through a minefield, where precision is important, not the valor. Next question. Sachin ji, next question hai? Why is local BJP social media campaign lagging behind a portion? It will be MP's election, Rajasthan, IC Congress campaign a lot compared to BJP. Well, Mr. Kishore, that's a point taken. I hope by the virtue of this show, somebody who's responsible for that, like Mr. Amit Malvi and all, they take a note of it. He's a very competent man. I'm sure he has his eyes and ears on the ground. We can only get the feedback there, and what you've rightly done, I hope somebody kind of reaches there. But I'll tell you something, the kind of things Mr. Rahul Gandhi and Mr. Sam Pitroda are doing, any amount of social media campaigning and any amount of gimmicks may not help Congress. And if you look at the history of Rajasthan, it's 1 year BJP, 1 year Congress. And today, as per the information I have from the sources, BJP looks quite upfront in Rajasthan. Rest time will prove. Things will decide. All happens by the Ichha of Lord Mahadev. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Ranga sir, namaskar. Temple economy is indeed helping the India, creating jobs, business opportunities. Sir, BJP is talking about it. Congress in the past managed to stay in power only by making impeachment. So, Ranga sir, when it comes to Kashi-Panath corridor, when it comes to Mahakal corridor, when it comes to connecting all the Char Dhams of 5G, when it comes to building dedicated roads, when it comes to building a motorable road almost to Kailash Mansarovar, when it comes to revamping the roads in Mata Vaishno Devi, when it comes to upkeep and infrastructure around the South Indian temples, around the temples of Rajasthan. So a lot is being done, a lot needs to be done. There are two things which need to be done. The temples must be freed out of the government control, and temples should be given liberty. And there's a lot of encroachment of temple lands which has happened. That needs to be taken care of. I think in Tamil Nadu, I saw one video wherein the Waqf has claimed a whole village. And in the village, there's thousands or hundreds of year-old temple. I think the temple dates before to the Islam was born. So these are also some challenges which need to be mitigated. And I think work in progress, we are doing the geo mapping. I think geo mapping will be ready by July. After the geo mapping is done, a lot of such issues will be permanently put to the rest. So this Uniform Civil Code, temples, this Waqf Act, and a lot of things which need to be settled. But right now, we have to get back. We have to, now Kashi is somewhere there. Ayodhya ji is done. We have discussed about it. Somnath is done. Mathura is work in progress. And there are many more things which we have to do because not only that, the government of India is also going to restore temples wherever they are in the world. The Angkor Wat, which is the biggest Vishnu temple, Sri Hari temple in the whole world, will be restored by the government of India. And the temples in Vietnam, Japan, Cambodia, Laos, and South America, Mexico, wherever there are Hindu temples, the government of India has already said that they will be restoring them. A lot needs to be done. A lot has done, but we all need to be patient, and we all have to do our part. We all have to be a part of these organizations. We have to help these organizations financially. We have to talk about their cause. We have to educate the people around us. We have to build the consensus, and we have to run us, and we have to build the awareness around us. I just have two formulas: 5 family members, 5 friends, and 1 you. 11. 11 is the lucky number. If one of us can get 10 more, we are done. Within 1 month, whole India will be on one page. Then I will have maybe 1 million people watching the show, and it will be good for all of us. It will be fun. Kidding, no, not on the other side, but this is what we all can collectively do. 5 family members, 5 friends. Bingo, formula. Let's go and do it, sir. Let's talk. Okay. Ask Sumit why suddenly US is praising Modi. Oh, well, slightly diverting from the topic. Well, US needs India more than India needs US. India is buying a lot of US weapons. India is buying a lot of Russian oil. Americans want to have this joint collaboration on the GE engine, which will be manufactured by HAL. Indians is a very, very big market. US wants to get a lot of their defense deals and defense equipment into India. They want India to reduce its dependence from the Russian military hardware and get India closer to them. So there's a lot of things happening in the backdrop of geopolitics. Now, only 2 people whom I need to worry about, if I can say, if I take the liberty, US arms lobby is happy. I can say that with the... And that's my idea. I have no information. So that's my idea. So, and now the only people we need to handle is CCP and ISI. That's work in progress. Yeah. Rahul ji, namaskar. Asked Sumit, whenever RaGa's chamchas may do in foreign country to defame India, but unfortunately they have to win an election. India is likely to win another people. Rathore Saab, I completely agree, sir. I've been always saying on the national TV. I said if Mr. Rahul Gandhi thinks people of Stanford, Yale, Cornell is my university. No, he doesn't go to Cornell. Yale, Stanford, or Berkeley's, or wherever they are going to vote, or a Syrian, Algerian, Moroccan, Afghani, or Pakistani is going to vote. Well, that is not how. It will be voted by Sanatani Hindus and the patriotic Indians, who are 1 billion people, so crore people, will vote. Youth will vote. And youth are very tech-savvy. All my youth friends, who I'm a great fan of, they're very tech-savvy. They know what is right, they know what is wrong. And let me tell you, sir, nobody can win a government here or make a government here by antagonizing Hindus. I can be direct with this. You antagonize Hindus, you can never make it to power. You might make it one state, two state here and there. Then when you will lose that state, you will blame, oh, Operation Lotus, Kamala, Operation Lotus, Operation Lotus, Operation Lotus. Then you will cry on TV and say Operation Lotus, Operation Lotus. Arey, Lotus to Mata Lakshmi ka vahan hai, bhai. Mata Lakshmi sits on the lotus. Why is lotus irritating you so much? Huh? I don't know. Every our deity, even Bhagwan Shri Hari Narayan carries lotus. How many of our Devi Devtas carry lotus? What is wrong about lotus? I don't know who carries this. Well, they will know. I got something interesting lately on this, but I will not share. Maybe next time I'll give it to Sachin. Muji, namaskar. Thank you, sir. Any more questions, Sachin ji? Today we had an interesting session. Okay, I think Sachin ji, we don't have more questions, right? Okay, I think we have done and we are on the nick of time. I'm not going to get scolded from Sachin ji and Shri sir that you have, Sumit, you have exceeded the time. So I was looking at the clock. I was trying to be punctual. I was trying to get you people a bit, typing a bit on your phones and your keyboards. But it's all interesting. We're an extended family and it's all great. At times, because Sanatana and Bharat and is very close to my heart. And at times, my emotions take over as per spur of movement. But that's what it is. And I feel very strongly about it. And on that note, I would like to thank you all. My pranam, my namaskar. Thank you very much. Vande Mataram, Jai Jai Shri Ram.